first full day of being at home, back to working strictly for myself. And it's been quite a morning. My first instinct this morning was to do a lot of things. Like, I gotta go and do this, I gotta go and do that, all of the different things. But I decided to not and just chill. I decided to just chill because it's therapeutic. I didn't want to just start busying myself for the sake of busying myself, even though, like I said in my previous video, I have a strategy and I know what it is that I want to do in the trajectory for my business and for my channel and all those things. So naturally, my first instinct was to start to do those things, start to walk that out. But I had to sit with myself, and in my meditation this morning, I checked in to really listen to what felt the most therapeutic, is the only thing that I can think of, what felt the most safe, the most calming to my nervous system and to my spirit. And that was to rest, and not necessarily rest like lay down, which is fine, like I'm an advocate for, but rest in the sense of like chill out and think about the next direct action in order to accomplish my strategic plan, right? So more being, less doing today. I'm a homebody. I really like to be at home cooking and cleaning and doing very domestic things. Maybe it's because I've been married for 26 years and raised a family and was very much committed to that role. And it just is who I am. I like things just so. And when you are outside of the house working all the time, you don't really have the time to really deep clean. And then a holiday comes and you spend your off time deep cleaning. So it's nice to not have that be the story, and I can just clean and cook and get everything together. And it feels like a reset to me. It feels like, okay, I'm turning the page and getting aligned. That's what it feels like. It feels like alignment, which really feels good. I had a good night's rest, which was very important. I was like all over the place yesterday. Even after I grounded and came down, I still felt like tension. So being able to just get a good night's sleep felt very restorative. Having a good night's sleep felt very restorative. And when I woke up this morning, I got my thoughts together and I sent my former co-workers an email. The former co-workers that I don't have a text relationship with, or I just didn't want to end my time at my organization without bringing closure to some of those relationships, even though I'm sure that I will see several of them, but some I'll never see again. And so I wanted to send emails that just, like, thank you and glad that we worked together, that kind of thing. That was like about a handful of people, but that made me feel good. I felt like that was bringing some kind of closure for myself. And there's still like some paperwork things that I'm communicating with the director of my organization with, and getting some things handled. but I just wanted to like close out some of those relationships because that's important to me, and that felt good to do that. So I wanted to share that. And I also wanted to share about how I am deciding to move forward. I am grateful though for the shock of yesterday, because it shocked me into turning on my camera and talking to it, and being able to move past something that I've wanted to for a long time. I feel like I have been like suffering from like having a visibility wound, not wanting to be seen on camera. I'm very active on my apothecary Instagram, but not so much always like talking and showing my face kind of thing. And I used to have a podcast. I obviously used to be on YouTube. Obvious if you go back, maybe not obvious to you right now watching, but so I've never been like shy in front of the camera, like ever. But I did have like, I had hired or sought some time ago, in the early days of my business, a social media consultant person, and she used to critique my videos, my herbal videos. That's why a lot of them are unlisted, because it got to a point to where I just wasn't being myself anymore, and I was like feeling like very oops, I'm in the wrong lane. It's okay, I hope so. She used to critique a lot of my videos, and it just made me feel like, well, damn, am I doing anything right, with regard to how I am on camera. So I just stopped showing up on camera, which ultimately I don't think was good for my business. And I've been like starting and stopping so many times for so long, that I don't know if I was ever going to, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to get over? I gotta call y'all back. I made it. I was able to merge. But I did want to say that the visibility wound, that's what I was talking about. Like, I feel like I had gotten to a point to where I just didn't want to show up on camera, because I criticized the way that I talk. I criticized the way that I look, if my hair was done, if it wasn't, if my nails were done, if they weren't, my weight, all the things. So I just didn't want to be on camera, but I like it. Like, I have for a long time. And I teach a lot. Like, I teach in front of people, like in person, and I teach virtually. And so this bra got my titties looking crazy, my titty tops. So talking to people is what I do. Like, it just is what I do. And I would just be in my head like, I'm going to record a video. But I need this. I'm going to record a video. Oh, but I got to do blah, 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 blah. And then two, because the job that I just got fired from yesterday was in agriculture. I grow things. So I grow a lot of the herbs and things that I sell in my apothecary, like in my own personal home. But I worked in agriculture, and showing up just real plain Jane and regular because I'm working on a farm or working in a garden. My job that I got fired from, like my role was more administrative, but when you work in urban agriculture, there, at any given time, there are times where you're going to be on the farm or at a garden. supporting your other team members, or just showing up and, you know, somebody is like, oh, we're raising the roof on a chicken coop, can you help us? You know, all types of shit. So I wouldn't show up to work like this, and this is not even, I was just going to the store, you know what I mean? So, but I used to just get in my head about all those things. And so the shock of yesterday being fired was like, I gotta turn on my camera. So now I'm wanting it to be like a regular thing. I don't know, like I might post something every day while I'm setting up my space where I'll be doing like herbal demonstrations and things like that. Now that I would like to get to look a certain kind of a way, so I'm still working on that. But as I'm going through this transition of having just got fired and, you know, getting back to just working my business solely, you know, I want to talk about it. So while I'm getting things together over there, I might just pop up every day so I can check in, because, you know, for real, it's like I want to be able to look back at these videos, because like I said in my previous video, I've had several businesses and not all of them have been successful. And when I decided to make a business out of my soul work, because I'm an herbalist for my whole life, when I decided to make that a business, I started to be successful. So basically, I said all that to say, like, just show up. Just show up. If you're thinking about doing this, just show up. But I know for me, I just want to be able to look back and say, this is the moment in July of 2026 that I decided to face the fear of being on camera again and talk through this situation. I don't know if that hadn't happened yesterday when I would have picked up the camera, but I'm glad that I did. And I kind of, like I said, I just want to keep it going. I don't know for how long I will do it. And like I said, I'm working on my space where I can do herbal infusion demonstrations and things like that, and really dive more into herbalism. But in the meantime, I'm just about to pop up and be talking. So if you are interested in knowing how I make this transition from being fired to flourishing, ooh, I should put that on a t-shirt. But from being fired to flourishing, stick around. I have been going through lots of changes. One day I will tell you the story of how, you know, I said I was married for 26 years, and it's true. But my husband and I don't live together no more. And that was a decision that I needed to make. So as a whole other conversation, I feel like I am in a time of transition and flux. And some time ago, I got my horoscope read. Had to be like 3 years ago. And is it Scion or Chiron return? Well, one of the things that the astrologer said was about shifting when I hit a certain age. And we can talk about that at another time too, because there's a lot that comes along with hitting that age. But when I hit a certain age, it was really like the year that she said, but it just so happens that I turned a big age in that year. And the shifts and transitions that have been happening in my life ever since then is just like, wow, like I'm literally in a new world. And this job situation, me deciding to leave the job and then ultimately getting fired from the job, like I said in my last video, was just a part of a transitional flow that's been already happening. And this is just a part of that. And in order for me, I see clearly that in order for me to move on to that next stage, all this old shit had to go, and my job was a part of the old shit. So it is what it is, and I'm actually grateful for it. But I got sidetracked. If you want to watch this transition, Stick around. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to last, but it is what it is, and we're going to see it through. I might fuck around and like it, and you might fuck around and like it. We might like it together, so we'll have to see. But I want to know, like, have you experienced anything like this? Like, first of all, who is in transition? Have you ever gotten blindsided by an employer and gotten fired? It occurred to me that I've never gotten fired before. That's part of the reason why I was so in shock yesterday. I didn't have a reference point for those feelings. But have you experienced this? Do you know anybody who has experienced this? Like, let's talk about it, because I feel like I sense that a lot of us are going through shifts and changes right now. I see it in the world, like, that I live around me. I see it online. And maybe that's just my algorithm. I don't know. Let me know who else is shifting and changing and no longer fitting in boxes and creating new boxes and morphing and shape shifting into other things. And you thought that you wanted to do this, but now you're, changing and doing that. And if you are a big age person and the shifts of that are hitting you, let's talk about that too. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna end this right now. I don't want to be coming on here just talking to be talking. I want to share with you my latest feelings as I'm going through this transition, or things that have happened, and things that are going on as I move through this space. So right now I'm homebodying, I'm organizing, and I'm strategizing, and I will report back. All right, I hope that I see you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.